All right, folks. Thanks for joining us and welcome to another episode of Let's Kvetch.
Wait.
Let's Kvetch. We're not changing, are we?
You've already, we have branding.
Last week we were
talked about it.
Such a nice episode.
Selling, but
your Bubby loved the last one. I'm just saying.
Right. How many views did we get on that one?
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I'm not Kvetching, right?
Yo, welcome to the show. It's Let's Kvetch, where mindful speech and wisdom always stretch. Rabbi Raphael, Howard on the mic, dropping Torah gems every day inside.
My co-host,
Raphael Leban, and my co-host,
Howard Wedgle. So this is our 11th episode.
Very exciting.
Very exciting.
You finally get to sit in the middle.
Yep.
Just saying. What?
Okay, good. Okay. I feel discombobulated.
That's just because we're going back to kvetching after kvelling. It's a real transition.
Yeah, but I'm not kvetching about the seat. This is like the main hosting.
There's
right?
nothing to kvel about here.
Okay.
I mean kvetch. I got to stop that. Okay.
All right.
We have a special episode today.
Yeah, we do have it, and we have a very, very special guest. Who flew in just for this show.
Yeah.
Just for this show.
And some other things in Denver.
Side things.
Yeah.
But this was the main gig.
Yeah. That's it. The Denver has always been a major stop in the Jewish world. People, that are making world tours and traveling around and meeting
Denver's
people.
on the list.
They come to Denver, right? Because it's a beautiful place and beautiful people. The people are really why you come to Denver. People are so nice. What? You're speechless about that?
Yeah.
I think they're nice.
Yes.
Okay, Howard, you could disagree with me.
No.
Off camera.
Right. I'm not.
So let's welcome our guest.
Okay. To the left.
Come on the show. We have.
Okay.
We're delighted to have you with us. Avi
Shalom.
Abelow.
Okay.
I said it right.
No, you did say it right. And all the way again from Eretz Israel. And we are so pleased and honored that you're here.
Thank you for having me.
Okay.
First time in Denver?
Yes.
Really?
Believe it or not.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
first time
amazing.
in Colorado, except having my foot in Colorado back when I was a kid, and we were at the four corners of the states. I remember memory of that.
Yeah.
But other than that, never been in Colorado.
So you could have been standing in other states at the time and not.
I was. I think we were trying to get all two of our feet in four corners of the different states. That's a memory.
It's very cool there.
Okay, tell everyone about
so
our guest.
a little bio.
Yeah.
Okay. So Avi is the host of the Pulse of Israel podcast,
Yeah.
which you do daily. Daily, beautiful. The website is pulseofisrael.com. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. He's the CEO of 12 Tribe Films Foundation. After working as a change management consultant for Accenture in New York City and opening up their Israeli office in Tel Aviv, Avi then produced the acclaimed movie Home Game about the Jews of the Gaza Strip. Avi first made Aliyah in 1990 with his family when he was 16 years old, 2-3 years ago, I guess. He served in the IDF, and after the Army, he married, moved back to New York for 5 years, and then with his wife and son, moved back to Israel in 2002. To say that Avi is passionate about being Jewish is an understatement. I heard him last night speak, and it was incredible. Every podcast, every word defines his unwavering mission. Avi has graciously agreed to be a guest on the Let's Kvetch podcast. We don't expect Avi to come here and kvetch.
No,
Okay.
not on this
But
podcast.
we're wondering how he stays positive when our world isn't always positive. So that's the
Avi, it's a big brain lift for us to have you. You've been at this a lot longer, and you're probably more practiced at it. So maybe you should interview Howard.
It'll be a pleasure, both of you.
Okay. But seriously, tell us a little bit about this. What an effort it must be. I mean, we do a weekly podcast, and we sometimes have guests, sometimes we don't, and I think that kvetching is something that everybody has deep within them that is easy to draw out. But you, I think, have a much harder job. What is it like doing a daily podcast about Israel?
Well, first of all, I think I am so blessed to be living in Israel because I am surrounded by the inspiration of Am Yisrael 24/7. And that's why I try to help open up people's eyes and ears to be themselves positive, and optimistic
Mm.
because
Good.
Yad
That's a
Hashem,
good
God's
segue.
hand is everywhere. And too many of us are saturated with media because we're a very, very media saturated culture today.
Yeah.
And most of it is demoralizing.
Mhm.
Most of it is wrong. Most of it is fake. Most of it is agenda driven, even in Jewish media
Mhm.
and regarding reporting about Israel. And I try to peel behind the headlines to help people see what's really going on, understand what's really going on, and then be inspired about the emes, about the truth, about
Mhm.
how the state of Am Yisrael and the state of Eretz Yisrael today, even in a war, even following the worst tragedy the Jewish people have gone through since the Holocaust, that we're still living through the sadness. But we're in times of Geula, and I try to help open people's eyes so that they could internalize that and feel it and be proud Jews moving forward.
That's beautiful. Do you want to translate Geula for our listeners? I'm not sure if everyone will know what you mean.
Redemption. These are we are living in redemptive times. The fact that, again, just help put things in perspective, with all the complaints that we have, with all the kvetching we have, right?
Mhm. We're going to
With
get to
all
talk
the
about that on the
problems.
show. Don't worry.
I've been waiting.
With all the problems in the Jewish world, in
Yes.
Israel, in politics, 80 years ago, we were almost annihilated. The Jewish people were almost annihilated. And yet in just 80 years, the Jewish people have turned out to set up and be one of the most powerful nation states in the world.
Mm.
Militarily, economically, technology, medically. We're helping humanity in so many ways. And we were supposed to be destroyed on October 7th. And instead of being destroyed, we're now in the strongest geopolitical situation the Jewish people have ever been to, probably since King David's time.
Mm.
And it's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
And
Totally.
so it's hard for me for people not to see that we're living in redemptive times. Is Mashiach going to come tomorrow? I don't know. In 5 years, 10, I have no clue. But we're definitely in the footsteps of Mashiach and the redemption.
And as you're on your podcast, do you feel like you are telling the story? Sound like the story of the Jewish people? Do you feel like you're telling it?
Always. One, I'm trying to explain it through what's really going on beyond the headlines. And two, always reminding people about the historical facts, because whether people don't know or don't remember whether modern Jewish history, Israeli history, or biblical history, to understand and conceptualize what we're going through today, to really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So if I may, because
Let Howard jump in here because he's in the middle.
otherwise I'm going to really start kvetching. No. But since we are here, and not to underestimate all the issues and put a small point on it, but you meet with a lot of people, in what you do.
Right.
Okay. Sometimes you get frustrated on their response or lack of a response or what have you.
Hypothetically.
Hypothetically.
Okay.
Meaning you're talking
not
guests on his podcast.
Well, not necessary, but I mean, it could be. But
Let's start with that.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Let's start with that.
Okay.
So, sometimes you get frustrated from, maybe if you have another guest host, or
You're frustrated with your co-host.
or
You don't have a
something like
co-host. So you don't have to worry about that.
No, really, it's just you, huh?
Just me.
Oh, what a pleasure.
Wow, what a thought. Okay, so
No, but let's see. But you do have guests on your podcast sometimes.
Yes, all the time.
And what happens if you get a podcast guest who is, I don't know, going off the rails? Did you know that we have a very significant tagline, which is Kvetch responsibly? This is a podcast about kvetching, but it's not kvetching, without guardrails, and something like that. I think my colleague was going to ask you,
Okay.
if you ever have to deal with, and how would you deal with a guest that's like really, kvetching in a way that, irresponsible.
I love your tagline of Kvetch responsibly, because I guess I would translate that into my language as respectful dialogue.
Mm.
And in my case, because I deal with the nitty gritty political issues, like the issues of the day that are unfortunately dividing not just humanity, but dividing Jews and siblings and spouses, like about Israel and the Jewish people and halacha, respectful dialogue has been lost. I mean, unfortunately, when people ask me for advice, how do I talk to my fellow family members about X issue because I believe in this and they believe in that.
And he voted
Whether
for
it's
you,
Trump
Boo-hoo,
or
and I can't
Biden,
believe it.
right? Or it's Israeli policies for, against.
Right.
I'm like, unfortunately, very, very few people can have respectful dialogue anymore. And my advice is just don't go there. It's not worth the relationship. I mean, your relationship is more important than trying to get together on issues, because 9 times out of 10, people are no longer able to have that respectful dialogue. So going to the specific question with me, so yes, every once in a while I talk to people of opposing opinions, or I don't necessarily know their opposing opinions, but they come out and talking about issues. And I think I do try my best to have respectful dialogue and stick with the issues and talk about the issues. I have no problem having an argument or more of a disagreement and talking it through.
Mm-hmm.
And the beauty that I try to do is, even when there are disagreements, I always try to find those points that we could still agree on, even if our conclusions might be a little different.
Mm-hmm.
But it's, yes, but the
Beautiful.
focus always is like respectful dialogue, and that has to be modeled, because not enough people. And it's really sad. I grew up in New York in the 70s and the 80s. Right?
New Yorkers are the worst.
Well, back then, Denver people are so much nicer.
They are. That's so true.
I can definitely say that. I'm not kvetching. I'm being serious. But But back in the day, politics was not a divisive issue like it is today. And
Right.
you didn't care what you voted for.
You could be married to someone with a different political opinion.
You're right.
You could.
Today,
Not anymore.
Right.
No, divorce.
And it's a loss. It's a lost art of just having that respectful dialogue, which really has to do with respecting the person, despite what they might agree with or disagree with.
So this is the topic very dear to our hearts, because ultimately that's what launched this podcast for sure. In Colorado, we have put a stake in the ground to say that we are going to invest in learning Jewish mindful speech. And we have a Clean Speech Colorado campaign every year, which comes up every November. And that really was why Howard wanted to do this podcast. So you've really struck on the...
Other than the kvetching part. I mean,
that's a side point.
That's just a side point. It's just, because Rabbi Leban is like, how can I improve upon this? And I was like the closest thing.
Since sliced bread. So have you actually had experience then that you get a guest on your show that you're unexpectedly engaging in a hot debate with, where you thought that you had someone of like mind on your show?
I'll give you a very good example. I don't know how many people will know this name, but anyone involved in the Israel space or political Israel space will know. But former Knesset member Einat Wolf is a former star of the left-wing Labor Party, active Knesset member for years, no longer in the Knesset. And I had her on, and I spoke. And obviously, we come from two totally different worldviews.
Good for you.
What had me invite her to my program was because she has seen the light on some of the issues. She's basically calling out how the Palestinian agenda is to destroy us. For someone from the left to publicly say that and go on a speaking tour saying that, that's huge. Like she now says two-state solution is not a solution, and it's about destroying Israel. But even within that conversation of our program, there were plenty of things we disagreed upon. But again, I even said this publicly as part of the program. I'm not here to argue with you. Instead of arguing, I want to discuss the issues. At least that's my way of dealing with things. But the other important point I want to make is, because I think so many people have been so neutered or afraid to voice their opinions because of fear of opposing or offending people, we're losing a lot of people from being able to stand true to the values they're supposed to stand true to. Like we should have respectful dialogue, but that shouldn't stop someone from being strong about what they believe in and voicing that when necessary. Not necessarily in a confrontational way, but definitely stand up so that people know, no, this is the truth. Okay, I don't believe that this is a truth or this is my truth. No, there's emes. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, God gave us truth. There is one truth. You want to disagree with it? You can disagree with it. You have a good tightness, you have a good argument. All right, try your best. But there's one truth. There's men and female, man and woman. Sorry, there's only two genders. Like, you want to argue with me? Argue with me. I should respect everybody. Of course, I respect everybody. Should I love everyone? Of course, I love everyone. You want to call yourself a fish? I call yourself a fish. I still love you. I will not love you because you call yourself something that I believe is wrong. I still love you as a person. But it's still important that we don't allow this fear of offending people to stop us from standing up and being vocal for what is true, being respectful and talking to people, not insulting them because of disagreements,
right?
But not stopping from standing up and teaching our children and being vocal when it's important to be vocal.
It's interesting that you say that, because originally when you started speaking about the topic a few minutes ago, I actually thought for a moment that you were saying that instead of fighting and getting into a real argument or conflict, maybe just avoid the topic, just don't speak, but that way not to
I was
argue.
giving that as advice if someone asked for how do I deal with this family member or close friend about this issue.
Then maybe with that person, better to stay off of the issues that are fire.
Correct.
Okay, so but in general, the ultimate goal, and now I hear you saying stating it very clearly, we should be able to express ourselves, especially about issues that we're passionate about, things that are very deeply meaningful to us. Should be able to talk about things in a way that hopefully is, as you said,
in a respectful way.
Respectful.
Correct.
Okay.
But let's get to kvetching, because I still don't think we've really hit the topic of today's show. You know?
Okay.
Do you?
Which is
a good, I'm saying there's this discussion of issues, and then there's kvetching. There's just a person who's just, as someone who is, I'm going to call you a warrior in the media war in defense of the Jewish people and of Israel, and even of God at some level. I mean, I've listened to your United States podcast, as I mentioned, and you really are. I'm so glad that you're not afraid to just point out that we can't understand the Jewish story without God,
100%.
because that's the Jewish. There's no Jewish story without God, so we have to bring God into the conversation. But what happens when is there a role in the storytelling of the Jewish people that where kvetching rears its ugly head? That's what I'm really wondering, because we are known as kvetching is such a characteristic Jewish thing.
like I told you earlier, I think maybe it's part of my DNA. Maybe it's just me.
Oh,
personally.
for sure.
No, it's just me. But because I can't kvetch with Rabbi Leban, it's a virtual impossibility.
But
Okay.
we kvetch responsibly. But it really is essential to us, don't you think?
I think kvetching is definitely part of the Jewish DNA. Hands down.
Okay.
No argument there. Okay.
Good.
I definitely have tried my best to educate my own children. 4 boys, 3 just got married over the past year and a half.
Oh, wow.
In Israel,
Mazel tov,
all during
mazel
this
tov.
war. And I have tried my best to instill within them a deep appreciation of always working on strengthening their belief and faith in God, and understanding that no matter how much we don't understand, everything is for a reason, and that spending time complaining is a waste of energy, and our energy should be focused on the only things we control in life, and that's on our own mouths, on our own actions. And therefore, instead of wasting energies complaining, which is a waste of time and energy that doesn't bring something tachlis to fruition, controlling and making the best of every situation. So I'm not the best person to talk about kvetching,
No, I think
understanding.
you did an amazing job. Amazing job.
No, understanding that it's a natural thing, and doubly natural for Jews. We have the most, and here's the beautiful thing about the Jewish story. We have the best story to kvetch about. We have 3,500 years of stories and persecution to kvetch about, but we're a nation. We're a nation of victors, not victims, and we move forward
Like that.
and build. And we don't focus on the victim Olympics that the rest of the world today is focused upon. We're like, you want to play that game? You play the game. We're not us. We were just massacred on October 7th. We're focused on building the best country we can and being a light to the nations to make the world a better place. We're going to remember the tragedy that happened to us on October 7th, just like we remember the Holocaust, just like we remember the pogroms, just like we remember the Crusades, just like we remember the millions of Jews murdered by the Romans and the destruction of both temples thousands of years ago, we never forget our sad stories. But instead of focusing on kvetching, we take the time to cry about them. We take the time to try to learn, what do we learn from them in order to move forward, but our focus is being victors and moving forward as a people. And that's, if anything, that's the biggest gift we give to all of humanity, especially today where there's so much focus on this victim Olympics that is taking humanity down. And we come out, the state of Israel, the Jewish state of Israel today is coming out like a shining light, basically as a shining the difference between what we represent, victors and moving forward, as opposed to just crying about, oh, not fair, not fair. You're right, life's not fair. Now what do you do?
I think that now what do you do, Bart? It's like tachlis kvetching, meaning it's kvetching with a point.
Right.
So the kvetching without a point, without there being some success, some product, some goal at the end. Tachlis meaning goal. So that's where we really struggle.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. So we want to give a little plug for Avi's website. That was anyways, Pulse of Israel. Okay, go to the website.
Absolutely.
There's a place to donate as well to continue the cause and all your efforts. Yeah, Hashem give you much strength and hatzlacha and all your endeavors and all the things that we wish for the state of Israel.
For the Jewish people,
For the
solutions
Jewish
and the Mashiach and all the good things that we're looking forward to.
Amen.
And very positive and powerful.
And thank you for having me on your program. And may Hashem, may God continue to bless you and all the important work you're doing to strengthen the Jewish spirit and the Jewish identity and the Jewish pride of the Jewish community and every individual Jew you're able to reach here in Denver and in the area. So continued success.
Amen.
Thank you.
Beautiful people, beautiful show.
All right, don't forget to click subscribe, like, whatever that bell thing does. I'm not sure.
Notifications.
Notifications. And the website we can go to if you have
cleanspeech.com/let's kvetch.
It's not
I think it's my kvetch. No, I think it's let's kvetch. I don't know. You'll try one of the two. And that would allow you to register your kvetch, your question, and put it in, and we'll get you on the show soon.
Right. We should have put that somewhere.
You should put that in there. By the way, for those of you who are listening to this episode promptly, so we have an upcoming major event, the Wine and Cheese, and actually, Let's Kvetch podcast is going to be a special guest at the event. So don't miss it. Take a look.
Really?
Yeah.
Top billing?
Yeah, top billing. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's Kvetch. Your next episode could be
All
at
right,
Wine
we
and
got
Cheese
really
near you.
promote it. We got to really promote this. Okay.
Marketing.
Okay.
Marketing.
We could take lead from Avi on how to do this.
We should do after the show. We'll get a couple.
All right. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, Avi, for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Welcome to the show. It's Let's Kvetch, where mindful speech and wisdom always stretch. Rabbi Raphael, Howard on the mic, dropping Torah gems every day in sight. Let's Kvetch, let's not forget. Choose words wisely, no regret. Guard your tongue, learn the flow. Jewish vibes on the podcast. Let's go. From Lashon Hara to keeping speech kind, every syllable affects the divine. Pause before you speak, breathe and reflect. Every day my Vaughn earns respect. Howard's got the laughs, Rabbi keeps it deep. Lessons on the lips for your soul to keep. We're talking truth, talking shalom by it. Heart stays soft when the tone stays quiet. Let's Kvetch, let's not forget. Choose words wisely, no regret. Guard your tongue, learn the flow. Jewish vibes on the podcast. Let's go. Rhythm of the mitzvah, speech is gold. Lesson in restraint, let the story unfold. No gossip, no hate, keep the temple clean. Listeners engaged in that mindful routine.